And welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Cosmic Kev, your host, and this is for the week beginning the 2nd of June 2017 all the way to the 9th. So what's interesting about this week? Well, we have a full moon, folks, but it won't be until early, like it's just after sunrise on Friday morning. So, and the moon is going to be in Jyesta, and Jyesta is the eldest, or the preferred. It's ruled by Mercury, and it encompasses the Vedic sign of Scorpio and sidereal Scorpio, and it is full of mystical power, and it's a very tumultuous place in the sky. There's going to be big storms, trust me with this one, and there's going to be some transiting over into, you know, the realm of the next week into the moon will be a Mula after that moon. So that's another like deep moon where we deal with stuff that we're not always happy about, but we get to the root of things. And we could actually use Nariti to destroy our sorrows, to destroy injustice, to destroy disease. So not all destruction is bad, and we really need to reassess the way we look at things in the world. And so, you know, I think everything that brings more compassion and tolerance is good. Everything that's promoting more nature and the natural world to be healthy is wonderful. This is where we want to go with things. Now, Gemini, as a sign, which is in Western astrology what we're dealing with, is about being able to see both sides of a story. And the legend is the stars Castor and Pollux, you know. One by nature was good and sweet, the other one was a little bit crooked. And the crooked one got sent to Hades, but Pollux or Castor, one of them that was the good one, said to the Lord Jupiter, like, hey, you know, I miss my brother. I would like to have the privilege to go down to Hades, you know, so I can hang out with them. And it's like, Hades is a horrible place for you. You're good. We don't want you there. It's all bad and misery, but I can't separate you from your brother, so I'll let you go there and back, you know. And so Gemini is really the only sign that's been to hell and back. So that's the mythos in a irreverent, encapsulated story. So what are you doing with yourself today? Well, it's like, follow your spiritual path. That's, you know, that's the thing as we go to this week. This whole week is, from Friday to Friday, is a waxing moon gaining a lot of energy, and this moon has got the potential ultimately to break a lot of stuff down, you know, and it's not taking any prisoners, so to speak. But it's also about honoring wisdom of the older people, older sister in the family, preeminent seniority. You know, people stick around with something for that position. I mean, unless they're terrible, let them have it. And but Mercury says, let them have it with intelligence. Be wise about what you're doing right now. Look at both sides of the story, because that's the way we deal with Mercury, you know. Mercury, I mean, I love the Vedic story of Mercury because it's, you know, Tara was Jupiter's wife, and she gets stolen by the moon, the lustful moon, and she comes back and she's pregnant, and You know, Jupiter doesn't want anything to do with her, but the child is born, and the child asks Lord Brahma to make his mother pure again so that Jupiter would take him, and so there's a bunch of argument and reasoning between the son Mercury and the father Jupiter, and or you don't know it's the father, it could be the moon the father, but ultimately Brahman made it that that Mercury is Jupiter's son, and you know, she was pregnant before the moon had taken her and captured her, and it's great reasoning, because it's like, it's really the first story you hear somebody say, you know, the victim is not to be blamed for sexual assault, you know, and that's what Lord Buddha, or Mercury in Sanskrit, convinced Jupiter, Brisapati, his father, to get back to with his mother Tara, and you know, have a beautiful spiritual relationship for the justice of all. I think it's a great story. Anyhow, we're moving forward here, folks. Horoscopes this week, June 2nd and 9th. Aries, boom, you're on. So, with Uranus and Venus, there's a lot of upheaval. But one thing happens to Venus this week. She strays away into Taurus territory, your second house. So, ooh, you want luxurious things. You want to eat sweets. You know, cherries are in the market, and apricots, and all these wonderful watermelons coming, and summer fruit is vastly there. And you want to eat all these things. You want to enjoy all these sensual, wonderful things. And you want to see your friends, and you want to see your siblings, and your cousins, and your neighbors, and people you knew in high school. And you want to start a band, or a play group, a theater group, a dance group, tell stories, you know, sign language for the deaf. It all works. Anything working with your hands. That's third house. So that's a lot of where the transit is this week. And then the moon moves from, it's in, you know, Virgo today, and it goes into Libra late afternoon, and the whole weekend can be quite, you know, romantic and full of wonder. And then we have Saturn and Pluto in respectively in the 9th and 10th houses, and so we're learning about spiritual wisdom, but we're also learning that we got to be practical about the changes we make. I think that went well. All right. Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, the good news is Venus goes in your first house, so you look cuter, you look sweeter, you look more approachable, and I really think as a collective, even if you're not a Taurus, Taurus rising, or Taurus moon, it's just like everything gets slowed down when Venus goes into Taurus, and it gets a little more sensual. And it just gets like, there's a naivete with all the first 4 signs of the zodiac. There's this kind of like, well, these people don't know, they don't know squat yet, you know. There's a little bit of that. That doesn't mean that you're naturally stupid if you're born in any of the signs. That's not what I'm talking about. But there's a little bit of naivete. And so people get together. You know, it's like a small town where, yeah, my 14-year-old girlfriend's pregnant, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I'm so disappointed in her because she was supposed to make 5th grade next year. You know, it's like, oh my God, that far hold back. I mean, oh my God. Yeah, well, you know, things happen. This is America. It's like the kid in Home Alone. So for you, you got to still keep your thinking cap on. We do have Mercury is in Taurus this week as of the 6th, I believe. Yes? No. It's in Gemini now. What am I talking about? Now you really got to know what you're talking about. Yes, Mercury just went into Gemini. Hello. And what else happens? Oh yeah, Mars is going to go into Cancer this week, and this is kind of, that's your 3rd house. So for you Taurus, it's not going to be so bad, but for everybody else, this is kind of where people wimp out a lot. Mars and Cancer, it's like, oh, I just don't feel like confronting them. I know it's going to make me break. I just can't do it. I'm like, okay. Don't worry. You're a victim. We'll get somebody to sue them and make their lives miserable for you. Yay! That's how we bring justice in, right? You know, if they're poor enough, they'll go down. You know, that's how it really works. If they're rich, it's really hard to get justice from rich people that do bad things to you, because they got their whole team. You know what I'm talking about. So, you know, you're moving around, you're having a good time, enjoy swimming, enjoy getting your health better. I think, did I mention swimming? I did. Okay. And the full moon. Oh yeah, the full moon is going to be deep. You know, deep. Could involve your partner. Could involve other people's property. Stay tuned for the next episode, Taurus. Hello, Gemini. And it's your time. You know, I mean, your flavor of the month, right? This is your time of year. So Mars goes out of your first house. So you had all this energy, you know, to take risks and conquer the world and see all these things and do this stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my gosh. Do I have a gun? Wait a second, do I have a good shovel? Do I have the right tools for the job? I can't go out there yet. I'm not comfortable in the shoes I'm in. You know, there's a little bit of that. And then there's like, oh, family conflict and how to take action on your finances and, well, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of it. You get smarter this week with Mercury going into Gemini, so you have your head on your shoulders and it's like you're not having to watch your back so much, although you do have Venus in the 12th, which is going to be very pleasurable, pleasures of the bed and all that, Venus in the 12th house, but it also could be that gal at work that's, you know, vying for your position, not being very clear about it. Oh gosh, yeah, there's people like that out there. Oh, you know, like Bruce from Family Guy. Oh, I know. And all right, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, I mean, I said it wasn't going to be that bad for Taurus. It's probably not going to be that bad for you either. I mean, Mars in Cancer is like, you're like thinking to yourself, if your Sun's in Cancer, and Mars and Sun, by the way, are friends. Like, I got to do something. It's like, I got to respect my own authority. I've got to make effort if I want to get from point A to point B. You know, if there's a drought and I was planning on going by boat, I need to adjust my trip and go by land. So that's kind of issues. And I'm in my blind spot. I'm still in a 12th house transit, and you know, and Mercury and Sun are transiting the 12th house. So as a Cancer, my best strategy would be to pray a lot, meditate a lot, you know, stay out of people's faces, try to pray for your enemies, pay off your debts, do things that are good karma, especially helping those who are isolated in places where they can't get out. If you do that, it really helps. It helps lift up the vibe. I know so many wonderful people around me I have to be grateful for, and I try to keep that in mind. It helps me navigate the stormy seas. You know, it's like when Peter was walking on the water and then he looked at the waves and stuff and he started to sink. I mean, that's really true for all of us. It's really true for all of us. You know, we got to keep our eyes on Jesus. You know, we got to keep our eyes on that which is pure, holy, and good. You know, keep your eyes on the sun. With the new Ray-Bans. No, no. Well, hello, Leo. And welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so Gemini time, social time for you. Helpful friends, lots of parties, lots of good times. And whatever good karma you've done in the year, this is a time where you're going to manifest some of that. So, I mean, you're thinking better, you know, Mercury does really well. It's exalted, I think, in Aquarius. Yeah. And so, there's really good reasoning, really good intelligence going on right now. And you're having fun. And it's not hard for you to throw a party, whether it involves your siblings or friends you knew in high school or just friends you have at work. Whatever, you can do it. You might even be able to convince your partner, who's normally not nearly as sunny and flamboyant as you. You know, we're like, oh my gosh, how did I get with this person? And so, but the full moon's going to be really fun for you next Friday because it's going to be in your 9th house. So you might travel, you might do something exotic and weird and lovely. Yeah, it sounds like good. Sounds like you could do that. Well, hello, Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, a lot of times people say Virgo is all about the critic. You know, its key phrase is I analyze. And I always think of it more as the microbiology of versus the macrobiology of Mercury. So it's like, you know, the computer nerd, the person that studies contagious diseases through a microscope, you know, the hypochondriac at worst, or the martyr, you know, it's kind of the trooper attitude. Yeah, well, you know, I'm dealing with a lot of dummies, but somebody's got to do it. I'm there, you know, because sometimes I'm the dummy and other people are doing the work. And, but for you, I'd say sing more, you know, say more chants, gospel songs, you know, good prayers, things that go out that elevate the mind, elevate you, elevate your life, so you just don't think about the muck. Start thinking about good. Think about qualities you like about people around you. Learn how to compliment them. Don't say but this and that, you know. Don't just kind of like, just leave it at that, okay. And you will improve your own personal power, trust me on this. This is all about, you know, your work time too. So your reputation is really big when the Sun and Mercury are transiting together in your 10th house. So make a good reputation for yourself. Do something loving. This is like, it's going to take getting into the meditation closet to find out what that is. Because I don't want you to not have fun. You need to take care of yourself and not always be depressed. It's complicated out there. You're ready to learn another hard lesson, huh? Oh boy. I know, they take a licking, but they keep on ticking. That's my little Virgo. But think about your foundations, you know. Think about your parents, think about family. Because right there, there's the balance. There's the way out in a lot of ways of all this worldly stuff that's concerning you right now. As well, let's get in. What would honor my grandmother right now? What would she think of all this? And it's like, it kind of like makes me kind of take a few steps back. And you know, my grandparents were hipper than my folks, man. My folks, you know, it was all raised in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Oh my God. Oh, those poor people. I mean, they did dance. They're hella good dancers. Well, you know, we're in their 80s now. But, you know, you got to honor them. Honor the old ones. Oh yeah, Mars and Cancer. Well, it's like kind of a party for you. This is your time to see the vulnerability of everyone in your social circle. And, but you have a clearer analytical look. And that's what I'm saying. Be proactive with the compliments. Give people a good feeling. Why not? Plus you have the moon most of the day today. Well. Hello, Libra. And welcome to your horoscope. Okay. Jupiter makes good friends. You know, Jupiter really helps lift us up. It also stretches us, causes growth. Sometimes people gain weight from Jupiter. I could see Jupiter and Libra and Western, a little bit like gaining weight, like sweets and stuff. And certainly in Vedic, you know, maybe because it's a really tamasic Kapha sign, so, you know, Kaphas love their sweets, but they're really bad for them, so it's like this curse, you know, Pitzas love their spices, it's really bad for us, we shouldn't do it, you know. Vatas love their caffeine and nicotine, and it's really bad for them, you know, so a lot of times we're attracted to things that are really bad for us. So, you know, there's still the unpredictable relationship thing going on with Libra. You know, the libido has risen up considerably now that Venus is transiting the 8th house, and it's come from simple, playful, just intoxicating being in love into hardcore lust. And Sun in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, there's a wanderlust. It's like, oh, I want to discover this, I want to learn about this, I want to go there, I want to see that, I want to meet them. And, you know, so I want to climb Shasta, you know, I want that holy epiphany. And because Mars is transiting your 10th house if you're a Libra, so that's, I mean, we don't like Mars in Cancer much, but you know, Mars in the 10th house is great. So there's another person that's benefiting from Mars in Cancer. It's not all one way, folks. So for you, it's about actually saying, well, I can understand this feels better doing it this way. You know, it's like our actions and our feelings have to unite together to have effective actions. When you feel good about something you're doing, it's great. You get better at it, whether it's dancing, playing guitar, making love, whatever you want to do. It's making money. You get better at it as you go. So, you know, trust your intuition this week, and know that a lot of people are going through wild and crazy stuff. Okay. And speaking of wild and crazy, Scorpio, welcome to your horoscope. So, Mars still and Sun in the 8th house. I mean, this is like, you know, what I say about that for Scorpios is this isn't your first rodeo. You know what it's like to be taking care of other people's property, and to experience unjust rewards, and to have your intuition and your psychic radar beaming up to the point where you feel like it's giving you heart palpitations because there's just too much information and it's not all good. And but what I want to remind you is that things are constantly changing. And if we want to change our own reality, even when the magic arrows are fighting, meditation and being grateful, being thankful, calling some people, giving some gifts, doing some acts of generosity, kindness, just directing yourself in a positive way, it's going to change it all for the better. And that's really the truth. And so we're going to have a moon in Scorpio this week, right before the full moon. So that's going to happen on Monday and Tuesday and a good portion of Wednesday. So all of your ambitions and desires, just relax, just let it go, and realize that you're not in control of this situation, but you can do your best, and you can actually ask for help and get it probably and come out very nice. Alright. Well, hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your horoscope. Okay, so what do we got here? We got this big old full moon, you know. We got that full moon happening next Friday morning at 6:10 in the morning, Pacific Daylight Time. And there's just this kind of stormy potential brewing with this full moon, but it's also a lot about fun. You know, it's about fun and games and partying to the max and feeling like some legitimate celebration is happening. There'll be a lot of graduation celebration. I have a feeling that that's going to be the real focus of this full moon. You know, kids out there, driving and drinking is stupid, and you know death isn't that scary or anything, but it really bums your parents out. You know, so for you don't care about your life, but everybody else does. So you don't bum other people out. You take care of yourself. You live a good long life the best you can, what you know, and you'll come out okay. You know, and don't let your friends drive drunk and do stupid stuff. All right, because I know you're graduating and all this crazy stuff happens. So please keep that in mind. And you know, you will have some good times at parties, but you're also, you know, you're in a place where the lust factor is up. You got to be careful about that. So much drive. Well, hello Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. Yes, well, Gemini time is about a time where you need to get your health trip together. Okay, so exercise, get yourself in shape, and now Mars is in the 7th house. Uh-oh. So, you know, you're getting confronted by your partner. You know, I don't like this about you, I don't like that about you, I don't like that about you. Usually what we don't like about other people is a genuine reflection of who we are and ourselves. Because it's an area where we inwardly are hard on ourselves in most cases, unless we're just like batshit crazy. You know? And yes, we all know a few of those. So, here with your key phrase I use, one of the things is de-escalating heavy-duty emotions that are out of control. One of the best phrases you can say to these people is, well, I could see how you feel that way. I can understand why you might feel that way. You know, and then you know, open body language, a little calmer voice. Well, is there anything we can do to fix the situation? Is there something that might help right now? And they might just go, you know, say, well, I understand. And you have a right to have that prerogative. I'm so glad you told me about this. You know, but, you know, anyhow. Yeah, that kind of thing. And eventually they calm down. They just tire themselves out of freaking out all the time. You know, you only have so much energy to be like freaking out. You know, you eventually got to come down, go to bed, go to sleep. So you know, yeah, do some of that. Sleep, but you know, enjoy what good fortune has been blessing you. And like Virgo, you know, thank those people for helping you get to where you are today. Thank others that have helped you. That's the word. Hey, greetings, Aquarius. And welcome to your horoscope. Thanks for being here. Gemini time is like the best time for Aquarius is because it's 5th house time. I think 5th house time is fun. It's pretty rock and roll. You have a good time, play with kids, you have your lovers with you, you have your teaching engagements, your entertainment industry, all that fun stuff all around, you know, broad, expansive views, excitement, it's all there. And but you know, you're concerned about family matters more now with Venus and Taurus. It's like, yeah, I want to be an approachable person, so it's fun to always be out there, but it's nice to have some real intimacy. And you know, if you're always alienated from mainstream culture, whatever happens in it, in some ways it can curtail your ability to be intimate with a lot of people. You know, I tell this to people that, you know, unfriend their conservative or liberal friends because they're so annoying. I mean, it's like, people are annoying, and I get that. But it's like, if you want your cause to perpetuate and believe, just be patient. Don't trip on them. Don't just unfriend them. Don't give them a reason to justify their hatred for you or anybody else. Oh, wow, okay, so that's how you feel. I mean, I had like a homeless person in Oakland, like, asked me for a light, and I had a light, and I gave it to him, and they gave it back to me, and everything was fine. And later on, while I was texting somebody, they were interrupting me. I said, hey man, I've got something I got to do right now. And then they started to barrage me with all these things. I just turned around and said, you know what? It was nice to you. And you're being really rude right now. And then they gave me the F you, and it's, oh, thank you. Well, that was nice of you. Thank you. I just left. You know, just even thank them for their aggression. It's just, oh, wow, that's what you came up with. Well, well, how about that? I'm surprised and amazed. Yeah, and so, you know, and you Aquarius are great at deflecting these kind of things, and you got good friends around you, so everybody's got your back. I wouldn't worry too much. Well, hello, Pisces, wind up and pitch, Gemini time. So, with Saturn and Sagittarius, you've had a lot of responsibilities. Neptune in the 1st house, people look towards you for some kind of aesthetic or artistic approval. Finally, Gemini is your family, you know, and so there's two sides to everybody. And you know the affectionate side of the person that's often a bully. And people who are often bullies are the ones who are most afraid. And a lot of times Geminis have this way of having a front, you know. They put on a front, another face, another mask. Partly because it's fun, but partly because they're scared. Because you got to think about, you know, we go back to that nakshatra of we talked about earlier of Mrigashira, the deer that had to run away. You know, there's a lot of element of that in Gemini, and even if you're a Pisces, you can see some of these kind of people, these kind of tendencies in your home life and with your parents and how you were raised. And then on the nice side is that they're very curious people, they're intellectually friendly, you learn stuff. Right now, it's housekeeping time. Take care of your home, take care of your parents, take care of your family. That would be the good karma to do. And then the other things, fun things you want, they will follow. All these things shall be added to you. Thank you for being with me this week. We're going to do this again next week on the Planetary Persuader, yes.